Hey y'all, welcome back. As you can see, it's a little bit damp this morning. So far, we've had about 2/10 out of all the rain that's coming through. But it's looking to be like a whole lot more. But I think at the moment we're done with the rain through most of the day today. So one thing that I did not take care of yesterday was I gotta open up this stack of hay here. I'm gonna bring in some more hay for the cows because even though we've got rain in the forecast, with as bad as our pastures are, it's going to take a little while for the pastures to kind of catch up and get back to that point. I mean, we have the cows out on pasture right now, but we're feeding hay with them on the pasture. And I imagine we're going to be continuing to feed hay for at least another week or two until those pastures get back into a really nice growing pattern, as long as we get the rain that they're forecasting us to get. Anyways, this will be the first time I've opened up this stack of hay, so I don't know what it's going to look like under there. It's the first time I've stored any under black plastic like this, and I know sometimes they tend to mold and stuff up against the plastic where they sweat, which is kind of why I left this end open, keeping airflow through it. But we're just going to take back a few bales. I think I'm going to probably get 4 or so out of here, and then I'm going to take back one of the brand new bales we baled just the other day for the horses. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this rope because honestly, y'all, the grass has grown up around this and I have no idea where I tied it at. But by the time I take a couple of rolls out, I'll be able to tie it back. Look at that. But down in there should hopefully be okay. There we go. Well, at least I'll be able to find the knot.
Yep.
Boy, that new one up there sure does contrast against these older ones. But them older ones look like that just because the piece of plastic was laying on them. Down in there still some pretty good hay. This was some of the hay that come off of that field that had all the broom straw in it. You can see it there. That was cut last fall. So I hope they eat it. I'm sure they will because it had a lot of good grass in it too. But it also had a lot of broom straw in it. But that come off of the field that I have not mowed yet this year because it simply just wasn't nothing there. So I'm hoping all this rain we're fixing to get really brings that field out and maybe we'll get a good cutting on it.
Well, y'all, I'm in here throwing together some lunch. I've got some onions and a few of my frozen peppers. Kind of softening up here. What we're going to have for lunch today is some deer tacos. This is one thing I love about the canned meat, is it's so quick and easy. Lunch is usually a pretty busy time. You know, supper, most of the time, is more full course meal kind of deal. At least here, you know, for us anyway. But lunch is kind of a quick grab and go. So today, I thought our grab and go meal would be some deer tacos. Now, I canned this deer back in the winter, and That's my favorite way to eat deer meat. Besides fresh deer tenderloin and the sweet roll, as we call it, I like those fresh, but I don't freeze any deer meat. I make deer jerky and I can everything else. And it makes, there's all kind of great recipes you can make with canned deer meat or any kind of canned meat really. But yep, today we're turning it into tacos. So see all that delicious broth that makes when you can it? I always add that into whatever I'm cooking, because that broth has a ton of flavor. But I always do like to soften up my peppers and onions a little bit. I was messing around in the kitchen yesterday. I didn't get any of this on video, unfortunately, but I was kind of tired of making strawberry jam, so I decided to change it up a little bit and just try something a little new, something I've never done. I like to do that if I have an abundance of something. And also, y'all, we have given away tons of strawberries. Tons. But I decided to try to can some. It worked out pretty good. I think this will make great, easy cobblers, and it'll be easy to turn into pie filling. Because all I should have to do is warm this up and add a little cornstarch to make it thicken up, I'm thinking. Anyways, I've never canned strawberries, but it was easy to do. And you see the bubbles in there? That was my fault. I didn't think about it making foam like the jelly does, but it did. And I didn't scrape it off because I don't know why I didn't scrape it off, but I did not. So they all have that layer on top of them. But it was like that when I put them in the jars yesterday, so it's not because of a bad seal or anything like that. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll make any more, since I don't know, how good they'll be once I open them. But it was fun to make anyway. Tacos is like one of our most favorite things. Honestly, we could probably eat them every day. A lot of times I'll use pork, or I'll use the deer, or I'll use ground beef to make my version of tacos anyway. So of course you gotta season it up real good. And now what I like to I'll go out to the garden. I'll get me a little fresh cilantro to eat with mine. Put a little cumin in there. And of course, plenty of salt. And in my tacos, I like to just throw the black pepper to it. What? Just about like anything else I fix. Y'all know how it goes. And I'm going to let that simmer a little bit, let those flavors marry together, and warm us up some tortillas, and there's lunch. Quick and easy.
So I'm just warming up these tortillas now, the taco shells. Now we're working on what in it? Look at them eggs.
More quail eggs, except this time I had my last jar of beef pickles. I finished it off, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna throw me some eggs in it. So I'm throwing some quail eggs in it.
Yeah, and my cousin, the one that's got the quail eggs, you went out there and got how many dozen from him the other day?
8 dozen.
8 dozen quail eggs.
They were so good. Me and Andy's done cleaned out the cowboy candy eggs. Like they're gone.
Yeah, y'all, me and Megan both we love pickled eggs.
Yes.
And there's nothing no better than a bite-sized pickled egg. I'm gonna tell y'all what. The cows love the oats and the clover. The oat and clover hay that I made. I will definitely be doing more of this in the future. You know, I've always liked to turn my cover crops back under to help feed the soil, and that's definitely important as well. But seeing these cows eat this stuff the way they do, there's definitely going to be some more of me making hay out of them cover crops. Them little calves over there, I'm going to tell you what, them things are beautiful. And of course, I'm going to give them a little bit of feed too. Now they really will come for this. All right, I need to ride over and throw this other bale into the other cows. I'm not going to give them any feed today. Well, and there they are. I threw a whole square bale into these too. Like I said, they won't get no feed today. Of course, one's going to push each other around because y'all know that pile there is better than that one or that one. Funny how cows work. I guarantee I come over here tomorrow and that right there ground is licked clean. I'd love to have about 100 bales or more of this right here on hand. I mean, I like that. I like this stuff. Definitely doing more of this in the future. I've got a couple of, let's see, I think it's about 1.5 gallons of milk and some table scraps that are going to the pigs today. And it's just something that amazes me is how much something that looks completely nasty to us, the pigs just absolutely love.
Good boy, kitty.
There you go, girl. This cat right here, she was one of the first cats we got when me and Megan got married. She's got to be pushing 12 or 13 years old now. And she has lived outside her whole life. I'm surprised, honestly, that she's made it this long being an outside cat. But she's scared of everything. Like, it don't matter if Maggie said something there the wrong way, she would take off running like a bullet. All right, let's throw this into these pigs. I want to mix a little bit of their normal feed in with it. Just get that stirred up and mixed in real good. Charlotte jumped right under it at the wrong time. Got it all over her head. They make it sound good, don't they? They really do. I'm sorry, Charlotte. That was your fault.
I have to go put me some sleeves on. It's got plum chilly.
It is getting chilly out here. It's definitely not what we're used to for the past, week
Several
now?
days, yeah.
It's been been like 90 degrees, and now it's 60. Fly. It feels good, though. I'm not going to complain about it. My marketplace exploring has found us a piece of equipment. Not only that we want, but we need. So this is the current disc mower. Y'all, please overlook the junk pile back. This is a part y'all never see, and it's junky. But this is the disc mower that I've been using now for, how long have I had this thing?
Just about since we've been married, I guess.
I think I bought it before we got married.
I have. I know you've had it a long time.
I have. Let me give y'all a quick backstory on this disc mower. Just like I do now, I constantly scrolled Craigslist back in the day when Craigslist was a thing. I mean, I guess it still is, but it's not like it used to be. Marketplace has since took that over. But I was looking for something to mow with. and I found this disc mower here. Paid $1,500 for it. However many years ago that's been.
It's been at least 10 years.
At least, yeah. And have mowed acres of hay with it. To be honest with y'all, it was such a deal when I bought it. The day I brought it home and finally used it, I was expecting it to blow up that day. And I've honestly been waiting on this thing to blow up ever since I brought it home. And when I say blow up, I mean, I'm not technically saying blow up, but waiting on it to have a major breakdown.
To quit.
Yeah. And it finally did. And honestly, what happened to it was a little bit self-inflicted due to my lack of paying attention. However, I think it was coming. I just may have made it come sooner than later. And it can probably still, but well, it's not probably. It can still be fixed. But look at this. She's locked up. It's not in the gearbox. I already know that. It's in this cutter bar. And what happened was evidently I had a leak back here that I did not know about. And all of the fluid that runs in this cutter bar that keeps everything lubricated was gone. It come out. Like I said, I had no idea that I was leaking it. So, well, that's going to sound a little bad. But what happened was it come loose from the gearbox. And so when it broke, those bolts right there come loose from the gearbox the day I was mowing. And when it broke that seal, I guess everything leaked out while I was using it. And so, anyways, the cutter bar run without any oil in it. And I brought it back home, worked on it, tweaked with it, trying to get it loosened back up. And it just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter, even after I added oil to it. And so, what that most likely means is if not one, but several bearings inside this cutter bar are probably bad. Yes, that can be fixed. And maybe it will get fixed at some point in the future. But to be honest with y'all, I don't much like this one. Just because of the operation of it. And after using Daddy's to mow hay with, I realized just how much I didn't like this one when I started using his, because his operates totally different than the way this one does. And so me and Megan have talked about it, and we started pricing new ones. So I called around, got prices on new ones, and my goodness, y'all, these things are ridiculous how much they cost. And we don't make the amount of hay to make it worth us going to buy a brand new disc mower, because we're talking.
If you get a good one, it's a big investment.
Exactly. We decided to start. So like I said, Daddy let me use his disc mower to finish mowing hay. And I said, that'll buy us some time. I'll keep an eye out and try to find something used. Well, lo and behold, just the other night, I come across one on Facebook that is exactly what I would buy if I went and bought a brand new one. However, they are out of my price range brand new. For half price of a brand new one, and is about as close to a brand new one as you can possibly get. Has been sitting under a barn shelter for a couple of years. Long story short, they used it one season, something happened, and have not used it since. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a road trip this evening.
And the thing is, this is not like a toy or something fun, you know. This is what me and Andy talked about. This is something we have to have. If we continue to mow the hay we mow, and actually when he bought this, we did not have the hay that we have now, because there's another 12 or 13 acres that we ain't even mowed yet that we've also taken on. So I feel like, you know, it's a good investment for the farm and the haymaking. Things like that also come as tax write-offs too. A lot of y'all probably know about tax deductions. You know, every once in a while you need something to show on your income taxes, and that helps a lot. And so this is a decision we've decided to make, is to upgrade a piece of equipment. And, you know, I could very well fix this piece of equipment. But like she said, with the amount of hay we cut these days, reliability means a whole lot. Reliability means a lot, and the way it functions means a lot. And every once in a while, it's okay to upgrade. You don't have to stick with the old stuff that you've been running forever. It's nice every once in a while to treat yourself
and upgrade the equipment, especially if it's going to make your life easier in the long run.
And you can afford to do it.
And you can afford to do it.
Yeah.
And the one we're going to look at, like I said, is half price of a brand new one. And it's bigger, so I should be able to mow all the hay quicker than I have been. The way it functions is different, and that should also allow me to mow hay quicker than what we have been. And in reality, when you consider the amount of hay we mow, this mower will probably last us from now on. This will probably be the last disc mower we ever have to buy.
I hope so.
I hope so too. But I mean, you can think of like, I don't plan on quitting this anytime soon.
Know.
And we're going to be doing this at least another 30 years.
Yeah.
If nothing happens to us. And I would about bet that this disc mower we're going to look at will last us the rest of the time we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I hope y'all enjoy riding along with us, because I think we're heading up into some beautiful countryside.
Yep.
I'll also say that most of y'all know about me recently getting out of the lawn care business after 20 years, which is still crazy for me to think. But all the timing on all this worked out just right, because I have been selling off some of my more expensive lawn care equipment that I had. And so in turn, now I'm turning the money from that lawn care equipment into equipment that we'll be using here on the farm. And, you know, it just kind of seems like that's the way all this stuff works. It's one big circle. You might get a little money from one thing, but you reinvest it into something else that's going to benefit you now. And seems like that's kind of the way I've done my whole life, is get money here and reinvest it in another spot. But anyways, we are fixing to hit the road, and I am super excited about this trip, because I've never been to the area we're going to. We're about 2 hours away from our house is where we're going. And it is, I don't know, but I think we're heading into some beautiful countryside up that way. And I kind of hate it's a little bit cloudy.
In about 1 mile, turn left onto Booker T. Washington Highway.
Cow barn, but that's a stockyard.
Yeah, it said it was a stockyard.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
Well, it's the next day. We didn't make it home last night till right at dark, and that was a long ride. We was gone for several hours yesterday evening. Honestly, a lot longer than I anticipated. However, it was well worth it. On the back side of y'all is what we brought home, and I'm excited about this. It's kind of kind of a sad story to the thing, to be honest with you, but I'll share that in just a second. So here it is. Krone R240. This is an 8-foot disc mower. You can see it is dirty. It needs a good bath. This thing has been sitting in the barn for right at 2 years. But has not been used very much at all. It cut hay one spring season, and that was it. So yes, I do need to take a pressure washer to it and just wash all that dust off. All of that is just dust, and then where the rain. We had just a little bit of rain last night. We didn't have enough to actually wash it off though. But underneath that dust is brand new paint. I mean, like, this thing is probably about as close to a brand new one as you're going to get without it being brand new. I said there's somewhat of a sad story, so let me rewind. I looked on Facebook. Ever since mine messed up, I just been scrolling Facebook to see what I seen. Ain't been searching hard or nothing, just looking. And this one come up. There wasn't very good pictures of it at all on Facebook. And you could tell that it was either dirty or rough looking. And I was like, what in the world? So I messaged them, got a return message the next morning with the guy's phone number. I called him, talked to him. Long story short, the guy who owned this bought it and mowed with it that spring, and unfortunately got killed in an accident that summer. And they just hadn't wanted to turn it loose because, you know, it kind of meant something to them. They finally got to the position where they were ready to sell it, and that's when they posted it on Facebook. And I gotta say that I feel fully confident that there's nothing wrong with this machine at all. They even took a quick video clip of it leaving the driveway up there, and I kind of felt something, you know. I could tell that they didn't want to see it go. They really didn't. But they priced it right. Like I said, it was about half price of what this machine would have been brand new. And I think we got a good one. And I told them, I'm like, look, y'all, unless something comes up with it that I don't like, which I don't see that happening, it's at its forever home. And unless something drastically changes about what we do right now, this will be probably the last disc mower we ever have to buy. At least I hope so. So, anyways, I don't know about in other parts of the country, but around here, Krone has a very, very, very good reputation as being some of the best hay equipment there is available. This is one of the only ones on the market that has a shaft-driven gearbox. Most of them have belts that run right here. Well, about every other brand has belts. But this one has a shaft from a gearbox here to a gearbox there. You can see in there, there's a drive shaft. That does mean I'll have to keep that greased. However, there's no slippage going to go on there. It's going to go, and that drive shaft's going to last a whole lot longer than any belts will. However, in the turn of things, the drive shaft will probably be more expensive to repair if it ever does go out. So that's like that with anything. But I got a lot to learn about it. There's a lot of different adjustments and stuff you can make that mine don't have. So I read the owner's manual last night. But either way, I got to hook it up to the tractor to really see how all this stuff's going to work. But speaking of that, let's go get that loader. I'm going to take the straps off of it and get this thing off the trailer and at least hooked up to the tractor and see how it operates behind my Kubota. Being that this one is bigger, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to the Kubota and probably run it with the Kubota tractor instead of the John Deere. I'll show you something else pretty cool. So, of course, there's the drive shaft, the PTO shaft. But in this bag right here is a brand new cover because they said that when it was delivered by the dealership, this cover somewhere or another, the guy didn't even know where it was at, but it got torn by the dealership. So they give them a brand new cover. They never put the brand new cover on it. So I'll put that in the building, and 10 years from now, or however long it takes for this cover to get wore down and tore, I got a spare. Now that spare's worth probably $700 or $800. And we have yet to find the tear on this cover. Me and the guy looked it over all over yesterday and couldn't find it. Anyways, ain't it interesting that I have on a coat this morning when less than a week ago I was in shorts, sleeveless, sunburnt, everything else, and now I have on a coat. It's amazing how quick those things change. It sure does feel good out here though. I'll take this coat over to sleeveless any day. We hadn't had much rain so far, but I tell you what rain we've had sure has greened things up. I think total out of every shower we've got so far has been about a half inch. I don't know if we live in a dry pocket or what, but it's kind of crazy how all this rain has worked this time. I've seen people who are all around us, you know, towns around us here, and they've had over an inch or so far, but we just haven't been under one of those heavy downpours, which is probably a good thing, honestly. Right now, the light rains that we've had are really soaking the top of the ground so that when we do get a heavy rain, maybe it'll actually sink in instead of run off. So I'm gonna get the Kubota tractor out from under there, hook up the forks, and I'll meet y'all back up there at the disc board. Now I'm gonna spin the tractor around and hook it up, which don't look like it's gonna be a challenge. However, it might be, because just because of the way this thing's sitting, it may be somewhat of a challenge to hook up the first time, especially picking up with the loader. Things get a little bit out of line, but right now it looks to be sitting about right to hook it up with the tractor. This looks like a good job for Jacob and his little electric pressure washer. We get a little bit nicer day, I may let him just heat it up real good with the pressure washer and wash all that dust off. And since it's been sitting so long, we'll give it a good greasing and a good look over and see what we think about it. hooking the right valve or not, but I just have to see. But here we go. Let's see what happens. Gonna pick it up. See that? That's one feature mine don't do. How it picks the whole mower up with just using the hydraulic valve. On mine, you have to use the 3-point and the hydraulic valve to turn around at the end of the field. I'm gonna turn it on, see what it does. It's so much quieter than mine.
That was my first thought too. I was like, it's so quiet.
Golly, that one's so much quieter than mine, or the old one. So I was looking in the owner's manual last night, Megan, and I see why now, but there's supposed to be a kickstand here in this area, and it's not. So I'll either see if I can find the kickstand or just put a block of wood under it. That's how they had it up there, was they had a block of wood under it.
I wonder if they took it off for some reason.
I don't know. In the owner's manual, it showed having a kickstand. I couldn't imagine why they'd took it off. I mean, they only used it like a few months.
Yeah.
Golly, that thing is so much quieter. But I got all this to figure out. Before I run it too much, I'm going to give it a good greasing and we get it cleaned up and all that.
You just wanted to make sure it worked.
I just wanted to make sure it worked because y'all, believe it or not, we didn't even hook it to the tractor up there yesterday. I don't know. When we was up there, I just trusted those people. Even Megan said it. She's like, you ain't getting hurt on this deal. Them were some good people.
Yeah. Yeah. They're usually pretty good about getting feelings about people.
Yeah, so we didn't even bother hooking it up to a tractor to test nothing out. We simply hooked the chain to it, unloaded it, pulled it out of the barn, and set it on a trailer. And
If something had been wrong with it, it wouldn't have been something they knowed about.
Exactly, yeah. They wouldn't have known about it no ways.
No.
I'm tickled to death. I don't think, after seeing it behind that Kubota, I think it'd definitely be too big to put behind that John Deere. I might still try it, but it's big.
It's
a lot
huge.
bigger. A lot bigger than what I've had in the past. Golly. We need to find some more hay to cut now. I'll have to say that right now, as long as nothing breaks with that roller or that rake, like the setup that, if this works like I think it's going to, like I feel like I'm going to have the perfect setup for us. I can't wait to try that.
Now you're going to go over and mow them stems, ain't you?
Yeah, I might. I might just go mow them stems just for the heck of it. I want to say something, and something I wasn't even going to mention, but I'm going to mention it. Us as, I guess you would call us content creators, whatever you want to call us, YouTubers, we consider ourselves just regular people who happen to record their lives.
Yeah.
But
Happen to tow the camera.
in technical terms, we're technically content creators. We have opportunities to advertise things for other companies. And we had the opportunity to get a disc mower from another company. And to be quite honest with y'all, it wasn't what I wanted. And
we weren't going to stand on here and tell y'all you know.
Exactly. Had we worked out a deal with that other company, I would have had to tell y'all how good it is. Whether I liked it or not, I'd have had to tell y'all how good it is and everything else. But it just simply wasn't what I wanted. It was a lot cheaper than what this one right here behind y'all would have costed brand new. But I didn't want to operate that way. I wanted to get what we wanted, and
You can find some good deals on the marketplace.
exactly, marketplace can save you so much money. You just got to be ready to go when you come across it. That's the thing. When you see that deal, you got to instantly message, and you got to be ready for it. And luckily, we was ready. So anyways, I wanted to throw that out there, that we did have the opportunity. And I'm not going to say what brand. It was actually an off-brand. I guess I would consider it an off-brand. But
And there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just
No.
not something we choose to do here.
no,
You know.
I mean, while we do take sponsorships and this and that and show a few random products here and there, something like this, which is something I truly take pride in, is our equipment. I want what I want, and I don't want nobody else telling me, hey, this is what you're going to take, and you got to say this and this and this about
Right.
it. I'm not going to do that. So either way, if this right here ends up being a piece of junk,
Y'all gonna hear about it.
I can tell you it's a piece of junk, and it doesn't matter because we bought it with our money. Nobody sent it to us. And I think that sometimes some people might think we're just absolutely crazy for not taking the equipment that gets offered to us. And maybe we are. I don't know. But that's just a simple level of pride that we have that we're only going to take something we truly believe in and something we truly think is the right way to go.
Well, yeah, and we always said if it's something we were already gonna buy or something we already use and love, then yeah, you know, we'll do the sponsorships. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, we just do what we do.
We got companies we work with and we truly believe in them. So if you hear us recommend a product,
We
you
mean
best
it.
believe we mean it.
Yeah.
And I think this right here is the perfect example of us when we say this, that we're not just going to take stuff. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who does. If you choose to do that, that is by all means fine.
It's a free world.
It's a free world. You do you, and we'll do us. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to sit out here and tinker with my disc mower for a little bit longer. And me and Megan have got to run to Lowe's. We're going to go buy insulation and get started working on the little building down here, since it's a cool, nice day. And it's cool enough in there we can work, and that's something that really needs to be done. So we're going to try to get that at least started today. But we wanted to share this with you because hopefully...
Well, ain't nothing wrong with buying used. I want everybody to realize that. Ain't a thing in this world. It ain't all got to be brand new. Like,
It's not. You know, there's certain things that I will 100% only buy brand new. However, something like this, especially for the price we got it for, and I want to exaggerate that, like, we got a good deal. It just had to have been meant to be.
Divine intervention.
Like, this just fell, I mean, it was just perfect. But anyways,
And we got to meet them sweet people up there.
we got to meet some wonderful people and got to see a beautiful, beautiful farm while we was up there. They have a beautiful place. Anyways, I guess that's going to be about it for today's video,
Yep,
ain't it?
I guess that's going to about wrap it up. We sure appreciate you spending some time with us today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you might have learned a little something. Till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.
Hope y'all are getting some rain. That fills up a whole lot quicker than my old one. There it is.